Hello, and welcome to a Friday night stream. Gonna remember to unmute the mic? Yes, I did. Alrighty then. Welcome all. It is a celebration today. We have hit 100 followers. And we even have a couple of subscribers. And a couple of new people. So this is absolutely a celebration. And I'd like to welcome you all and especially send a shout out to our new peeps. So a big hello to Detonate, who followed last week. Hey Sarah, what's up? How's it going? Happy Friday. Thanks for dropping in. I was just saying we're celebrating 100 followers and a new subscriber. So it is Friday night and I've poured myself some wine and I'm going to send a toast out to all of you who make this a joy. Because it's more fun to do these things with you fine folks. And fail collectively and break things together and learn together and all of those things. So yeah, I was just going to say hello to our new peeps. Hello to Detonate. I saw if you're out there watching, I saw your live looping video on Reddit and it was really cool. So happy to have you. Happy to be following you. Yes, wine in a mug. You know what? I don't have any clean wine glasses right now. And I also don't trust myself to have a wine glass around a computer and not spill it. A mug is much more sturdy. And, yeah, so I don't want to spill wine on the computer. That would be sad. I usually have a mug nearby and it usually has tea, coffee, or wine in it, depending on time of day. And as of right now, it has wine in it. So we're going to see how I do programming with wine. We're going to have a sip whenever I fuck something up, in fact, I think, is the game we're going to be playing. But we're also going to have a sip whenever we actually do something right. So, drinking wine tonight. To celebrate with you people. A toast, in fact. And a hello to Ori Enigma, who does some cool art streams. Happy to have you along for the ride. Poor Grain, thank you for the follow. I haven't checked you out yet, but I shall. And thank you so much to the Joy of Missing Out from our Discord, who's shared some really cool things and has subscribed for 3 months at Tier 1. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate the support. It is super cool to have such an awesome community. And, yeah, a toast goes out to all of you with my wine in a mug. So yes, lots of sips. Thank you, Sarah. Cheers. Thank you to the Joy of Missing Out. Cheers to all. So yeah, let's get down to it. I've got a couple fun little things planned for tonight. First, I thought I'd scare you all off with some music that my band is working on. We've got this in progress track, and thought I'd show it to you if you feel like it. And we're going to do a little more work on our PS3 controller. And I thought I'd show you a preview of the next project we're going to be working on. That is the plan. So yeah, got lots of tracks going on here. I think the plan is we're going to start off with these cello and viola tracks that we paid way too much money for this plugin for, but it's worth it. Whoops, I'm still... Oops, uh-oh. Hold on. Did I break something already? Hold up. No, we good. Can you guys still hear me? Type something in the chat if you can still hear me. You guys still out there? I hit the button wrong. Okay, good times. Well, I guess that deserves a sip of wine then. Off to an excellent start here, guys. Right. Yeah, so let's start off with these guys. Some of our stuff is kind of soundtracky, but this one gets a little metally as it goes on. We haven't laid it out yet. Right now we're still in what we like to call snapshot mode. So this is like having the colors on your palette, as Bob Ross would say. He'd have the colors scrolling by at the bottom of the TV right now. So then we're going to fade in some of this bass synth. Still sort of figuring out the order these things are going to go in. We also have a bit of a distorted version of the bass synth that could come up. It might be good to save that a bit. What else do we got? Probably gonna put in some of this processed piano. We got two reversed versions of the same piano track here, made in Reason. And we're probably going to work our way into bringing these drum tracks in. Those are both made out of the same piano track, which is this guy, but this one is half speed and reversed and up an octave. This one is just reversed. Bring in some of this organ. Oh, holy crap! Ah! Sorry for the alert, guys. Let's bring in some distortion and some drums here, shall we? Good time for a sip. So yeah, something like that. Teeth Engraved says I hadn't thought of it before now, but laid out like this, it's almost reminding me of Fetus's paper slippers. Oh, totally. Yeah, I hear that. Absolutely. Anyway, works in progress. I figure I don't share our actual music with you guys enough, and Friday night's a good time for that since we're celebrating. So yeah, progress. Chipping away at it. And hope you guys like it. Let's see. What are we going to do next? You guys want to see what we're going to start working on soon? Let's do that next. So I've got this thing that I made in processing. I don't know if you've seen that before, but it's a really fun language that you can use, especially for visual stuff is what I've used it for. I actually prototyped the pendulum distortion that I made, starting off in processing. And then I moved into JavaScript, and that's how I got the visual half of it. Here, I'll just pull it up. And then we moved into C++ via RackAFX, which is my thing that I use for writing VSTs, and got this. So yeah, processing is sort of where I start that process. Process. Yeah, I wrote this thing in there. Here, we can hear it on the bass. I think I broke this out in a stream once, but I love stuff like this where we're controlling sound with visuals, and I want to get into doing more of this kind of thing with you guys. So let's solo this track for a sec. So this is a wave shaper that's controlled by the motion of this pendulum. Not to go on too much of a tangent. But the closer, or rather, the more distance there is between each of these 2 points, the more wave shaper harmonics you hear. This circle here represents one harmonic, this one represents the other, and you can see them grow as the tip of the pendulum moves, and it affects the sound. And you can control kind of how fast it moves, the length of the pendulum, and this is the kind of thing that we're going to get into building soon. So I can go faster, and then you'll really start to hear it. We have a wet-dry balance, you're just hearing wet right now. More distance between these points can make the effect more or less subtle. So yeah, kind of neat. The first step in the process is getting the visuals to work. And this is a thing that I made from watching a really cool tutorial video by Coding Train. If you haven't watched his stuff, you should. He is amazing. Definitely was an inspiration to me to get into streaming. I love watching him work stuff out like this. And yeah, so this is a way, if it's going to play here, of simulating water ripples. And I would love to have something down the line that's controlling either an arpeggiator or a delay by allowing you to control how much of these kind of water ripples that you're seeing on the screen. And want it to have a couple of different modes. One where you could click. In fact, we do have that. See, when I click, I create a ripple. And one where it sort of plays itself like this, and you can control how long it takes the ripples to fade away, and the density of how many of these sort of raindrops you're seeing. I want it to be kind of like a cross-section of a puddle if you're looking at it on the street when it's raining. That's something I tend to like to stare at. So, let's see. We can play around with this a tiny bit. I don't want to get too deep into the code because I don't think this is my most recent version. But let's stop. Let's make this a little bigger so that we can see. And so we've got this draw function, and that's sort of the heart of processing here, where you are drawing a new frame of animation, and that is what's actually putting stuff onto your screen. And we've got some settings up here. Oh yes, that's right. So this dampening is an important one. If we set this... Let me think for a second. I haven't looked at this in a while. So this is sort of how long it takes the ripples to fade away in the puddle. So let's... Right now our dampening is at 0.988. Let's try just at 0.9. First step is going to be to make this into actually using sliders to control this. Yeah, so now they fade away real quick, right? And instead, if we uncomment this and save it and restart it, so now our dampening is at 0.99999. Now it just looks like these weird spheres, and that would be kind of like having your feedback way up on your delay, or having an arpeggiator that just keeps going. Neat, eh? You get these weird patterns in here. Let's put it at something a little bit more reasonable. So like somewhere in the middle, like 0.985. How about that? Yeah, and now you can kind of see better when I click. There's an actual droplet. So I'm hoping that that is going to control our arpeggiator or our delay. And yeah, cool things to come. So, yeah, that's the preview. And if you guys want, I'll drop that VST into our Discord at some point if you guys want to try it out. Let's open up our PS3 thing. We made some good progress on the joysticks for that last time. I want to keep chipping away at that. Coming right along. I believe it was in here. Let's see. Oh, and in the meantime, while that's opening, let's grab the Discord link. So anyone here who isn't in the Discord, y'all can come and join us. Copy link address. And boop. So yeah, if you're not in here, come and join. It is a groovy place to share your work in progress, share your music, share your programs. Any language is welcome. Share dumb memes, whatever you feel like. Come hang out. We also share useful tutorials and things like that in there. Alright, so let's see. Where were we? We were at the point where we could map both of our joysticks. I think it's time to move some notes in here this week. That is our mission. Got my notes files up. And, oh yes, that was the live object model boss that we conquered. Here's where we were. Oh, we get to write a nice happy little done next to this. That was last week. We have our live object model mapping with joysticks. And yeah, nice tidy patch. Let's open up our... Oh, we already have it open. Wonderful. Here we go. So what do we need next? This was the velocity stuff. We've got, I believe, all of our controls... Yep, wrapped in this little sub patcher here now. So this is what's getting the data from our controller. Anyone who wanted a review on how we're using this object to get data, this is what it looks like. I know someone in our Discord was asking about this, so let me briefly touch on it. The HI object stands for Human Interface, and that's what talks to our PS3 controller. You click Menu here and send that message in, and now we have a menu of all of our available devices. And we select PS3 controller, and we have to tell it to poll every 10 milliseconds, and we should have data coming in, which we should see over here. Yep, looking good. Sweet. And we have... This is kind of how you do it. We have a route object that looks for a specific, let's call it an index, and we are getting a bunch of number pairs out of the PS3 controller. And, for example, this Route 26 here at the beginning says, look for 26 and a number. Anything that follows 26 is a measurement of where our left joystick on the x-axis is. And that's what we use to control things. So if you want to hook your own controller up, that's how you do it. Alright, let's see. So yeah, I think next, notes. We want notes. So just reacquainting myself here. We don't need any of this stuff. Be nice to grab this guy. Whoops. Beep. That was a whoops. That gets a sip. I tried to paste something in without unlocking the patch. Cheers, guys! Now we can have our joysticks labeled here, ostensibly. So what do we need for notes? We need this section, because this is the scale that we are choosing. So let's copy that over. Yeah. We'll do all of our notes stuff down here. That's already neat and tidy. This can be much smaller. This is going to be so cool once it's directly in Ableton. There we go. And wait, oh, whoops. Put it over the other two. Okay, so we want to find a way of telling our user that this guy here is for mapping the left joystick and this one is the right joystick. And we had another little whoops there. Let's have a sip. Okay. Which one of these was which? Yeah, so this is left Y, this is left X. So a little bit of interface work here real quick. Let's open this up. Bpatcher. And what I want to do is... what do I want to do? Well, I guess I want to have a way of... Well, we can just leave a comment for now. Let's not save this. And... let's make this even a little bit smaller. Thinking. Yeah, let's get rid of this message box. It's just clunky. We'll think of a better way. Okay, cool. Now the big thing I want to do here is we're setting the minimum and maximum on our scale object here, and I want to make that something that we can change. There's our first mission, okay, chat? Oh, glad you're back, Beard Pills. Alright, let's see. So yeah, I want to make it so that we can scale our joysticks, and it's not just the minimum to the maximum of whatever parameter we choose. We don't need this. Let's remove that from the presentation. All we need is this switch for mapping, and when we turn it on, we'll be ready to map. It'll get a 0 once something is mapped. That'll be good. And our name is going to be coming out here. And here's where we're setting the minimum and maximum. So it's going to default to being whatever the parameter is expecting. 0 to 1 or 0 to 100, whatever. But I want to make that something we can change. So I'm going to put 2 floats in here. Is that's the low output? Good. This is the high output. First mission of the night, chat. This shouldn't be too bad, right? Famous last words. And gonna add that to presentation. Put them right next to each other here. So these will be our adjustable map. And min and max. Right. Cool. Live.text. This might be a nice... here we go. This might be a nice way to show what we've mapped and also serve as a mapping button. So let's do this. I'm going to open the help file for a second. Live.text, user interface button toggle. So, on, off. Right? Can you set the text for this? That would be super cool. Messages, bang, and float. Assign. Okay. That's not really what we want. Set. Toggle the state without sending output. Set symbol. Okay. Choose a button by name. Isn't gonna do text. Sets the button label when the button is in the off state. Aha. Yes. I like that. Alright. So what I'd like this to do, ideally, is say map, but then when it gets turned off, then we set it to be the name of whatever we mapped. That'd be fancy. I wonder. This might be fancier than we need right now, but let's give it a try. So if I go in here, let's play around with this. And I say, so mode is toggle. Yeah, that's what we want. Ooh, you can even use pictures. All right. Where is the text? Ah, text off label, text on label. All right, so off right now is going to be map. I'm going to set them both to map. On. Cool. And then when it goes off, I want it to be set to whatever the name is. So first of all, what does this output? 0 and 1, that's what we want. Great. And if I send this a 1, it does indeed turn it on. Okay, cool. So far this behaves like a toggle. And so now if I say text, that's the off label. And let's test like reverb, something like that. That's still on. Hey, nice! And then I turn it off. So if we were to do something like this... Okay, I think this might actually work. We can get fancy here, chat. This is a good way to celebrate. So we send this a 1 to turn it on. And then we also want to send it text on map. So say we tell it what we want it to say, and then we say 1, and it says map. Nice. And then say that we have already mapped, and then we say text for off is reverb, and then we say 0, and it turns to reverb. Nice! Okay, I like this. I like this. Okay. Make this a little bigger. Yeah, something like that. Now we need to connect it up. So we're going to do one thing at a time, as always, chat. Right now, let's just make sure that the 0 and 1 part works. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to replace this toggle with it. Goodbye, toggle. So when we turn it on, we send a 1 in to open up this gate. Let's change this text so that it says map, just as the default. And once it is mapped, it should receive a 0 in here. All right. So let's try that much, chat. We should now have a map button. Let's move this out of the way. And if that works, then we can make it say things as well. All right. Taking all bets. Oh, I didn't want to close that. Damn it. I meant to close the other thing. Well, time for a sip of wine. Cheers, y'all. Oh, we're beach balling. Come on. Come on now. Beach ballin', son of Hoondoon. So, how are you today? Okay. we're closed. Save. Close. Okay. Sick. So now we have this map. Min, max. I can't actually see the number boxes. We have to make this a little bigger. Close. Alright. Move that out of the way for now. There we go. That there. This here for now. Yeah, alright. There we go. Map. Oh, let's pick our controller. Let's click map. Oh, I said let's click map. Have to add to presentation. Alright, come on now. Oh, we did add it to presentation. We just need to put it up here. Okay, there we go. Now we don't need this label for it anymore. Min, max, cool. Lock, save, close. Alright, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. PS3 controller. And let's say map. Nice. And when I click on something here, let's try pitch bend. Oop. Or mod wheel. Then we should get a 0 over here. Oh. I think we should close this and reopen it. Save. Yeah, I think we should close this all up and reopen it. And this too, since we're done with it. Okay. So, over to Max for live. And where were we? Audio effect. Mapper 2. Okay. There we go. So hopefully, map turns it off. Delay feedback. Okay, we got our minimum and maximum there. Well, let's see. Oh no! We broke it! We had trouble with these live buttons before. I was hoping this was going to be the night for it, but it's not behaving how I'd like it to. Grump. How strange. Seems to be stuck in that off state. Well, I guess that's what we would expect. Well, we'll come back to that, because it's not really the most important thing for right now. I'd like to get the minimum and maximum thing working. We broke our rule, chat. You gotta do one thing at a time. I tried to do 2 things at a time, because I was excited. And you gotta just take it one step at a time. Let's put a toggle back, because we know that works. Put this into presentation mode. Put this up here. We're just gonna label this. One thing at a time. Close. Close. Let's see if that still works. And we have some sound. We do. Cool. So map. Feedback. That should be turning back off again. What have we broken? Well, it's time for a sip. I'm not sure if the sips are helping, chat. New view. Let's actually watch what's going on here. Let's see. So if I turn this on, are we getting any kind of errors? So we've got map on here. Let's choose something else, like this, perhaps. Well, that did turn it back off. Oh boy. Max is being weird tonight. I was sure this was working before. You know what? I'm gonna back up. Fuck this. We haven't saved any changes. Let's go. Pretty sure I did a save as here, and I'm glad I did. This is why you want to do save as. And yes, dem's the rules. Sip of wine when we break something. Alright. This is the newer version. This was our old version. Damn it. No, so we have to actually fix this. Oh, jeez. Well, let's try once more. Alright, we are getting data in here. Let's see. This might be a job for next week. But let's take a quick look. Let's put some messages in here so we can see what the heck is going on. Maybe there's something obvious. So what should be happening is this should give us an ID for the current live set. This should give us an ID for the selected parameter. And that's what... So what we want to do is open this gate, click a parameter. It should come through here, close the gate, come in here, and we should get the name of it, minimum and maximum. And all we did was take out the name, add number boxes in here. That should be fine, which go into this scale object. And then this is going to take input from, our PS3 controls, and we've seen that we are getting data there. And that data comes in here through the scale into live.remote tilde, which is what actually talks to the knob we pick. So this is how we debug. We trace through our signal path and see where the break in the chain is. So 1 comes in here, 0 comes out here. That and these guys are really the only things that we have changed. We're routing out min and max. That should really be working. But yeah, let's see. We're going to add these to presentation. So we should see an ID here. This is just for debugging purposes. An ID here. And then a name right here. Make them bigger. Save. Close. Make these bigger. Yep. An ID 0 there is okay. That's what we have the gate for. We want to filter those out. Okay. Let's try it again. And let's just close this and reopen it. Watch, this is going to be the max uncertainty principle. As soon as we look a little closer at it, it's going to start working. Alright, and let's keep it real simple. I wonder if it's because we used this mapping before, maybe? So I'm just going to open our device here. And on another channel, let's just go and open an instrument. What's something kind of fun? Ooh, an air of dread. Multitude of space. Noisy pad. Slow pad. What's something fun here? Nice. Sure. Ooh, the Terra Sancta bass. That's something we made I'm a fan of. Alright. Get some notes. Yep. Alright, cool. We have some sound. Let's see if we can map to... ooh, I don't know. Let's throw some distortion on it and map that. That's easy to hear. Pedal. Yeah. Alright, we'll try to map the dry-wet there. Okay, we choose our PS3 controller. And this is the left Y-axis, I believe. And... 1 second. We're not seeing our third message box. We just have to make these a little bigger. Pull that down. Make these wider. Move these over here. Save. Close. PS3 controller. Okay. Map. Dry, wet. Okay. I see a 0 and a 1. I don't see anything in these message boxes, so that's not good. Is it gonna... It's doing it anyway. Okay, so it works. It's fine. Sure. Here's to you, Max MSP. Apparently we didn't break anything now that we've looked closely at it. How fun. Well, now we can take all our extra messages out and never use that live button again. Because it broke everything. Let's take these out. Let's save it. Let's close that. And let's see if our min-max works. And if that works, then I will declare it a small but good victory. Okay. These can be a little smaller. Cool. Up here, over here. Save. Close. There we go. On. Dry, wet. Oh, you know what it might have been? I think I got it, chat. I think what was happening was we were trying to map something that we had already mapped. Because we were in a set that we had already had open, and we already had things mapped in there. And if you remember last time we tested that, when you close a set, it actually remembers what you have mapped, which is useful at surface value, but then you run into things like this. So we have to actually add in a way to unmap. And that goes in our notes file. Okay, so that's a bug to figure out later, but I think we have that figured out. So let's add in some reverb here as well. And let's put that on X. Yeah, all right, cool. Nice. So we have 0 to 1 and 0 to 1 on both of those. Let's see if they're working. Hey, glad you're back. Nice. Okay, reverb's working. Let's remap the Y to the dry wet here. Yep. Bring this gain down a bit. Yeah. Alright, cool. Okay, so that's working. So it lets you map to something different, but it was getting confused because I was trying to map to something that we already mapped. And that is a bug we'll have to come back to, and it's good we caught it. So hey, I call that a victory, too. Cheers! Now let's see if our min-max works. And this is important because our joystick is very sensitive, and it would be nice if we had finer control over things. So let's say that we want our distortion to only go maybe up to 50%. And let's have our reverb. We'll start a little above 0 and go up to maybe 83. Nice. Yeah, let's make the dry wet even finer. That feels good. I like it. Especially on the y-axis. It feels like that is much faster and has a smaller range than the X-axis, so having some finer control is nice. Yeah, here, I'm gonna zoom in for you, chat, so you can actually see this. Especially on this, on the pedal here. You can see that I can move the percent really slowly now. Or fast. Get some nice waves of distortion in there. Yeah, so we have some more subtle effects now because we have a variable min and max. I would call that a step in the right direction. Awesome. Okay, we didn't break everything, chat. We did it. Sweet. Alright, so next week we're going to get notes in there. And in my off hours, I might fuck with that live button and figure out what I'm doing wrong with it. Because I want it to work, and it seems like it does, but the second we put it in, it seems like everything breaks, and I just can't let that stand. But for now, I think we're going to call that a stream, and, you know, making progress, and fun things to come. So here's my last sip going out to you guys. Happy Friday night, and thanks for being a part of this community. And I will see you next time. Probably next Friday again. But watch the Discord, and I will put something up in news as usual with a day or two of warning when I know when the next stream will be. And let's go raid somebody! And yes, big sip, everybody. Who's up? Who's up late night on this Friday? Let's go raid, let's go raid Top every day. He does some killer drum and bass stuff. See you all next Friday? It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Beard Pills. Thank you, Joy of Missing Out. And thanks again for the subscription. Cheers, all. We will call that a stream.